We begin with a prayer given by the Mother in March 1973, one of the last prayers. First in French, notre sadhana doit être un service au divin. Une vie simple, peu de besoins et une ardente aspiration vers le divin. Now the English. Our sadhana should be a service to the divine, a simple life, few needs, and an ardent aspiration towards the divine.
Victoire à la douce mère! Vande Mataram!
I don't need to give an introduction. Perhaps you all know better than me what India means to us. This conversation was held sometime in 1958 or 1959. Bonjour, bonjour douce mère. You know, I saw X last night. Like a great orator, X was exhorting the people. He asked for something like a revolution in India. Not a war or bloodshed, but an end to misery, cheating, and hypocrisy. Then the mother spoke about India, and she began, "We have had enough of it, the way these politicians are governing India. It is absurd. How they seek to pursue the satisfaction of their ego, and poor India is completely forgotten. Nothing but filling their pockets and filling them up more by vulgar and false means. No sense of abnegation, no sense of sacrifice for the motherland, but only grabbing and swallowing everything for one's personal gain. How mean! Forgetting completely the role for which India exists, the great wisdom, the noble and spiritual heritage which she has, in order to distribute it to the entire world. The great role which she should play so that there is peace and harmony among the nations and people. The wisdom and the supreme knowledge which she symbolizes, in order to spread it in the world. It is this which characterizes India as the guru of the world. It is this that she should recover. In short, It is this that Sri Aurobindo has come to announce to us and has shown us the way. But India holds on to the past and moves away more and more from her ideal. What a loss, because she is losing even her soul and is falling into an unsurmountable obscurity. This is the tragedy. It was against this that X was rebelling. He really wanted to do something, bring about a real change in their attitude and their way of living. He was talking to them with his conviction that there was only one remedy for India to regain her true liberty, to rise above all this turmoil of misery, of theft, and the insurmountable and the innumerable problems that trouble her and gnaw right at the roots. And this is to follow what Sri Aurobindo has advocated, because all the other methods to re-establish India in her pristine glory have failed. That is why India must first acquire spiritual wisdom and turn her gaze towards the ideal to be followed, to find again her soul, which seems to have lost itself in the darkness of inconscience and the inextricable chaos which are harming her existence. It is the only way to bring together all the so-called strands of isms, social, moral, educational, and political, by the fact of inculcating in them the sense of benevolence, goodwill, and well-being. At first, to live, to subsist, to cultivate and to educate, then gradually to spread them in the social cadres in order to arrive at a definite result. It is certainly not by propaganda in which the politicians are skillful, neither by preaching the method religions take recourse to, but it is by education and by example that the change must come about in order to have an enduring result. Anyway, we shall see how best we can inculcate in the children this radical need to govern India in this way, to choose the best person in his field, and not by voting. It is still cheating and looting which persists. It is still violence that continues in India. One must bring about a change that will be the India of tomorrow. It is this that X was trying to bring about. It is this that X was proclaiming with an unheard of authority. The vision of India that Sri Aurobindo has envisaged, which moreover is the only remedy for India, to follow literally the broad schemes Sri Aurobindo has laid down. It is clear and without doubt the best. Naturally, one has to bring in slight modifications when necessary in terms of modern and scientific developments. But the way one has to rule is clear and without ambiguity. It is this that has to be followed. Sri Aurobindo's method of governing India. Then India can regain her glory, her wisdom, her physical, moral, and spiritual development, her nobility and her generosity. She could then share her knowledge with the people and the whole world. A new light dawns over India. The world awaits with reverence to change the structure of its life by following faithfully the teachings of Sri Aurobindo. In practical matters as well as spiritually, the only remedy for a harmonious life, full of kindness, of goodwill, and above all, the hope of transformation towards the Superman. It is this that India must get hold of, absorb, and then influence others like an example to be followed. But Mother, when will it come, this change? Soon, my child, soon. Do not attempt to count the years, but prepare yourself for this advent. It is not far. It is for nothing that Sri Aurobindo has come. He is carrying on the preparation behind the scene. The knowledge which he has brought down must manifest in actuality, and the India he always loved becomes what he hoped for and wished, becomes the symbol to spiritualize the world and radiate with a bright splendor. Mother, that means that we can participate, Mother? Certainly, my child, certainly have no illusion about it. And Mother, the people who were around Sri Aurobindo at the beginning, during the revolution in India, like my father, those who sacrificed everything, dreamt of seeing the glory that India symbolized. Will they too participate? Yes, without doubt, my child. They will come back to see what Sri Aurobindo hoped India would be. Certainly, they will see India in her glory, in her knowledge, in her wisdom towards all, and her high spirituality. That is it. You will see India alone possesses the truth and advances to conquer. Mother, I have no words to express my joy. Mother says, but it is strange. I still see X shouting, we must accept Sri Aurobindo and his teaching in our life. And Mother, the chaos and the anarchy which still persist in India, it must soon disappear. What is happening to purify India of all in her that made her refuse to accept all that descended from above to establish the truth and the kingdom of the divine, because she did not collaborate. It is the reaction to the forces which were obstructed by the destructive and ill-intentioned powers. That is why this chaos still persists. But they cannot last long. It is the end of their extreme resistance. It is a pity that India could not accept this marvelous call to collaborate with the divine. Now she must wait and bear the consequences. Because They did not listen to Sri Aurobindo. All will be arranged as it should be, through detours and waste of time. Voila! Au revoir doucement. This conversation was held in 1968. Mother, you know, my father had the good fortune to stay in Sri Aurobindo's house for more than a year. The others worked in Maniktala garden making bombs, and they came to meet Sri Aurobindo only occasionally. But my father stayed with him. Barinda, Sarojini Devi and Mrinalini Devi were also living there. The mother, what a joy to be near him. Mother, my father used to say, I don't know whether Sri Aurobindo is a man or a god, but certainly he is not a man. Because men get angry and they have their likes and dislikes. But Sri Aurobindo had none whatsoever. My father tried many tricks to see if he could make Sri Aurobindo angry. But he never succeeded. Nobody knew how patient Sri Aurobindo was. The mother, yes, it is true. He was not a man, but the Lord himself. Mother, even in jail my father used to look after Sri Aurobindo, who was in trance much of the time. One had to be near him to serve him, and my father often said that it was a joy to touch his body. Mother, oh, that is why he has been worthily rewarded, because he served Sri Aurobindo. Yes, mother, and now he says, I must see the mother's kingdom established on earth before I go or I leave. Yes, your father has his own way of looking at things, and he has an absolute faith in that. Mother, he says that we are traitors because we did not completely accept Sri Aurobindo's Mother India as a living entity, a living God. So, in order to establish the truth, Sri Aurobindo has borne down now the living Mother, the Divine Mother. The Mother laughs. Mother, it is very sweet, I understand. I know it is quite clear now. Mother, while observing nature, he feels that all the leaves and flowers, all the plants and branches are playing. They dance and smile all the time and invite man to share this joy so that he may lead a better and more harmonious life. The mother. Yes, it is quite true. He has this capacity to see the reality behind things as they are in the subtle world. He has this inner perception which enables him to communicate with nature. This power of physical absorption, this vision of the subtle world are Sri Aurobindo's gifts to him, because your father took care of Sri Aurobindo, because he was so close to him. He has been well rewarded. He is among the gifted ones who have an individualized psychic being. That is why he has been so often saved from dangers as if by miracle. Yes, it is not only a grace, but the assurance of being blessed forever, perpetually. Yes, Mother, it is so evident whatever he has attempted in his life has been a formidable success. The Mother. Yes, that is how one is rewarded. If one is a little grateful to Sri Aurobindo, or helps him, or thinks of him with gratitude, the Lord sees everything, and His kindness embraces you. His mercy flows immeasurable, infinite, and His protection makes you invincible. For a little service, you receive something eternal, a gift to cherish forever. No doubt your father has had his share. Tell him to remain quiet. Explain to him lovingly. When the Bangladesh war broke out, Mother told him that the mother has taken charge of India. I know how difficult it is for him, but let him not worry. Oh, to be close to Sri Aurobindo is not only an exceptional privilege, it is something unique. What a joy, what a splendor for him. Everything is possible. Your father is very fortunate. A life lived in Sri Aurobindo's aura. One can feel it immediately. A life lived in his aura. We end with a prayer, first in English and then the original French. June 69. The world as it is at present is the divine who has forgotten himself. O thou who art all in the truth, grant that I may remember in order to become thee again. Now in French. Le monde tel qu'il est à présent est le divin qui s'est oublié lui-même. Ô toi qui es tout dans la vérité, permets que je me souvienne enfin de redevenir toi. victoire à la douce mère. Vande Mataram.